Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I want to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers who love our jobs, and because we like to keep our jobs, are going to remain anonymous and use pseudonyms. I'd like to give a special thank you for all our Patreon donors out there. If you're interested in getting some Teacher Needs a Drink podcast merch, you can go to Patreon and subscribe. Teacher Needs a Drink podcast comes out every Wednesday and is proudly sponsored by Ludlam Dramatics. If you need a theater poster for your classroom, backstage, but anywhere really that's theater related, go to ludlamdramatics.com. That's LUDLAMDRAMATICS.com. If you have a story or something you'd like to share with us, you can tag us on Instagram or Facebook, or go to our website, teacherneedsadrinkpodcast.com. Also, please follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell one person. That's really the best thing. Just go find someone and tell them about it. All right, well, I'm happy to have everyone back. It's the end of the school year. Enjoy episode 35.
I love Mr. O'Hare, I do, but he's the same thing. He's a human space heater, and he'll try to, be all sweet and, come cuddle up on me, and I'm, shoving him off, going, no, it's too hot.
All right, well, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and with me today I have Rosie Rose.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back. We missed you. And from out of state, Miss Sparkles.
Yo.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad we're here. The year is, it's pretty much over for me. Tomorrow is my last day of school and, last day of online class. So I'm doing my last projects tonight. What's your end of year consisting of at the moment?
We aren't officially done until next week, so I'm still kind of wading through some last minute submissions, kids sending stuff in. I've been all week contacting kids and parents about, hey, you're kind of failing my class because you haven't turned anything in. You might want to do that. So I'm grading a whole bunch of late work that's coming in right now.
It's hard not to be bitter when you're doing that.
It's better late than never is a true statement in this case, because I don't want any of them to fail. I want them to pass, but it's kind of funny to see stuff from the first week coming in at this point.
As weird as this year is, I miss a lot of the normal end-of-year parties and happy hours. One of the traditions that I took up that I really love is my brother-in-law has been a teacher for a long, long, long time. He's been a PE teacher. And him and his cohorts initially, back when I was a teenager, would have a normal people suck party on the first Tuesday after school was out. It was pretty much an epic day drinking festival, because everyone else would be going to work, but they were teachers. And at the time they were young and didn't have kids. And so it was the normal people suck party. And it always got ridiculous. It would end up with kiddie pools, and they'd bleach their hair, and would just ridiculous epic amounts of drinking and shitty food eating from 9 in the morning till 3 where they'd pass out. I have to say, one of the things I kind of like about Corona, I think it's raised being in athletic wear to a whole new level of acceptability, because it has been for a while. You'd see people out at the store, in their yoga pants and long shirts. But now it's pretty much the majority of people I see. I want to say about 75 to 80% of people are either wearing scrubs or shorts and t-shirts or yoga pants. And I'm kind of embracing it. In fact, I felt embarrassed because I was going to run into a small stop. I'd gone for a run. I had taken off my shoes and changed clothes, but I didn't bring sandals, and I didn't want to put my nasty sweat socks back on. So I started to go into the store barefoot, and they called me out. I'm like, sir, would you mind putting on shoes? I am so sorry. I promise I'm not a 7-year-old.
No shoes, no shirt, no service.
No, as long as you have a mask, nobody cares. I can have my dick out. It'd be fine. As long as I got a mask covering my face, at least you shave.
No, that is not how that works at all.
That's not how that works.
Oh, you were saying about raising athletic wear to a whole new level. I have not put on pants with a button since March.
Yes, queen.
Wow. I put on a dress, a comfortable, loose, billowy dress one time when I had to go out in public and I felt like being fancy. But I have not put on anything with an actual waistband and a button and zipper since early March. And I'm loving it. I'm not going to lie.
No, I had a bad awakening because I went for a school parade where they're doing teacher appreciation. And I put on khaki shorts for the first time instead of just like normal basketball shorts. And my shorts that were my loose shorts last summer, they ain't loose anymore. In fact, they kind of super tight. And it was a little bit of awakening going, I got to lay off the ice cream. If I want to have a different form, I mean, I'm happy with how I am, but I don't want to have to buy new clothes.
I was going to see Bunny's lack of button and raise her. I haven't worn pants since this all started. Like legitimately have not put a pair of pants on my body.
Are you like Pooh Bear where it's just like a t-shirt and nothing on the bottom?
If I have to go somewhere, I'm wearing a fucking dress or I'm wearing a maxi skirt as a dress. I ain't wearing pants. Pants are for squares. No.
I've worn pants and shorts with buttons. I like clothes, okay, Rosie? I love clothing. I like to look cute, but when I'm at home, I just wear a t-shirt and no bra and leggings. I was so corona depressed that I wore my leggings as pants in public.
Oh, my ass wears them to work every damn day. They outside pants.
I have a curiosity, just speaking from the opposite gender standpoint of, okay, if you're not going to put on pants, but you want to go out in public. I mean, there's been a couple of times I just didn't want to go out in public because of the whole facial hair thing. And like, damn it, I have to go on Zoom. That means I got to fucking shave. So is it just more convenient just to shave legs and then head out in a dress?
It's cute that you think I'm shaving my legs to put on a dress.
Yeah, I don't always shave my legs to put on a dress either.
I can't remember the last time I shaved my legs.
My level of laziness was I got really annoyed because all of the food delivery services now are supposed to do no contact delivery. And so I have a little note. I have a little table by my door and I've got the Ring doorbell that lets me know if someone walks by. But I get annoyed when they ring the doorbell because they're either new or don't know, and they just stand there holding my food because I feel the need to put on pants and not answer the door in my underwear. And I get really frustrated because, part of this whole laziness entitled thing and me spending, an extra $10 more than I would on this food to have it brought to me is the luxury that I don't have to put on fucking pants. I can just open the door and hey, look, tacos are here. Or Priscilla just had a Blizzard delivered and they left it out there. I'm like, that's beautiful. But when the idiot's standing there waiting for it's going to be here. Just read the thing, follow the instructions, please. Don't make me put on pants, by God.
I have a really embarrassing short story about answering the door when your food is delivered. Like you said, it's supposed to be contactless. Not only is it supposed to be, I checked the box that says leave the shit at my door. I went to go answer the door the other day, completely naked. Opened the door, and this sweet little old man was there waiting for me to pick up my order.
You have blessed him.
We just made eye contact, and I went, oh, I'm sorry, and I closed the door.
Don't you have a peephole where you can?
I didn't think about looking because he was supposed to leave it and go.
Now I believe
that made my day.
I believe people who've been listening to this podcast long enough, they don't believe you. They think that this is more like an exhibition thing. Like, hey, I'm going to give this old man a show.
Okay, I am consistently naked around my apartment, but that doesn't mean I answer the door naked, usually.
But you did.
From Mr. Snifter. I am so glad I found your podcast. I teach in northern Utah, and it's a task to find like-minded people who can drop the bullshit and the saturated religious environment to discuss issues that teachers face like real people, who swear and enjoy a little scotch every now and then. This shift to online teaching has been difficult, to say the least. I find it interesting that leading up to this, our district and administration would support the staff in holding the students accountable, letting them fail so that they can learn resilience and ways to dust themselves off and try it again. The counselors come to our English classes once per quarter with PowerPoint presentations aimed at telling the students not be afraid of failure, to put themselves out there and take risks in seeking knowledge. Then COVID-19 happens. Now the administration has told us that we are not allowed to fail students. We must give them an incomplete and draw up remediation plans for those students who never logged into Canvas, then went partying with their friends instead so that they can earn a passing grade during the summer. How the fuck can we teach our students to fail if we remove the option altogether? No, sweetie, it's okay. Mr. Snifter would never fail you. After all, you can blink, can't you? See, that's all it takes to earn credit in English class. Blinking. I have several students for whom, after I have called home, we don't have phones in our room, and I made the mistake of using my personal phone to call a parent once, who then proceeded to call and text throughout the day so I could update her on her shithead son who constantly skipped class and never did any work. Anyways, I commute 45 minutes to work, so when I have to call home, after parents won't respond to emails or Canvas notifications, I have to drive to the school and use the phone in the book closet that doesn't have a computer. It's archaic and a pain in the ass. Anyways, these students, I discover, have told their parents that they are all caught up or that they don't have any homework, and their parents believe their little darlings. One student had taken 2 trips with her friends. Yes, vacations with the besties, where they socially distanced themselves at the sand dunes in southern Idaho. Another student flew to Florida with his grandpa to pick up an RV that he purchased and drive it back home. Other students have simply neglected to do anything because they get distracted by TikTok, video games, or other things. There have been a few that legitimately don't have good Wi-Fi and had to get extra jobs to support their family or had to watch siblings and take care of other family matters. Those students I get. Those students I have put together paper packets and they were able to pick those up and get the work done. Those students, I would agree, need an incomplete and further support to earn a passing grade. But the sand dunes kid? What the hell, administration? It's infuriating to put my heart and soul into educating these kids that don't care because they will forever be accommodated to by their parents and a weak-ass administration who will never really hold them accountable. Not only does Sand Dunes kid get the rest of the summer to earn a grade, I get to go through all the extra steps of building her a remediation plan. No work for her, extra for me. I hope we get back to the classrooms this fall. I don't know if Snifter can handle another year of online pandering.
Amen. I don't think I can either. Now, I think this is probably the easiest year if you're a kid who is being challenged by the school environment, that if you want to try to coast out and get out, you can. But I have a feeling, and I like to believe, that come the fall, a lot of the shock and awe of quarantine and pandemic is going to be over, and they're going to require kids to do assignments, right? Right? Really?
If we have to start off the school year again this way next year, how is that going to affect his impression of, well, do I really need to do this? Because I didn't have to do it the last time either.
You're 100% right. And I think it's going to be hard to retrain these kids come the fall with whatever the system is. If we have to do online teaching, no. Yeah, you really have to do it this time. Really. No, for reals. This time we're serious. You got to do it. And if the thing is, if enough of the kids are fucking around, the district doesn't want to take that hit. Like, you know what, guys? No grades lower than a 78 this year. I mean, that's probably not it, but God.
I was going to say 2 things. First off, I was glad that Mr. Snifter kind of specified, I'm not talking about the kids that don't actually have internet access, because I've got kids that live in situations where they literally don't even have a pencil at their house, much less a device, much less reliable Wi-Fi. So there is that distinction between the ones who I honestly have no problem going out of my way to help you, and the ones that are just blowing it off. Their home situation, and that there's, they've got devices, they've got Wi-Fi, and they're posting pictures on their Instagram of wherever they've gone on vacation. Like, those are the kids that make you want to throw something.
We had this one child that set their device to do an automatic reply to any email that was sent to that device. It registered that it was read and automatic replied to it. In which case, when parents got upset because their darling didn't actually have their assignments turned in, and they said, their darling, an email, why didn't you do anything about it? Why didn't you respond? Well, I went ahead and showed the thread to them, and I started actually forwarding the message or including them in a blind copy just so that they could see what was going on. And, according to the kid, I emailed this. It should be taken care of. Well, you didn't do anything. So except, that nice automatic reply. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm still going through those waves of mourning what we've lost in terms of this school year, and then existential dread about what's next school year is going to look like, which is probably not normal and not great. And then kind of excitement for what's coming because I got a promotion. Your girl got a promotion, listeners. So I'm really excited about that. But at the same time, if the school year doesn't look normal, does it matter if I got a promotion? So
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It totally fucking does. Don't sell yourself short.
So I have lots of mixed emotions.
Hey guys, guess what?
What?
Did you know that Teacher Needs a Drink has its own Patreon page?
What the what?
Heck yeah.
It does. For as low as $5, you can get access to past episodes and special Patreon-only episodes. The whole Elvis getting Harry Potter tested episode, it's all there. What? And also, if you go a little bit more, you can get Teacher Needs a Drink merch, like bottle openers and koozies. It's awesome.
From the Reddits. Posted by Tired and Don't Care. Same friend. So if budgets are cut, so should hours or days. With all these talks about budget cuts, I wish more unions and districts would take the stance that if you want to cut the budget 20%, we will move to a 4-day week or release 3 hours early. The only way they will negotiate higher is by seeing the economy will have to absorb the lost hours of work for all parents. I would actually welcome a 20% cut if I only worked 4 days instead of 5.
I'm kind of with that, but I like money. And it's nice because money helps pay for goods and services in my life. So I don't mind working less, but I'd have to do something else. Turd, what you got?
You know, this is where I like to call out people's bullshit, where you remember that people were making so many videos at the very beginning of this, like teachers need to be making $1 million for the shit that we put up with. Now it's like, okay, well, we're not actually in school. We're not going to pay you as much, and we still expect you to carry the same load. I call bullshit.
Not only do we want you to work more, we want you to work year round, but we're not going to give you extra salary for those extra few months. That's just crazy talk. Don't even go there.
Yeah.
I'm offended by it in many, many ways. And a lot of times I feel I'm kind of butthurt and salty about it. And one of the big things is like essential workers getting off work. And I know a lot of the pots and people like banging and stuff in the streets of New York when people get off their shift at 7 is mostly for medical workers, and they are on the front lines. But, man, teacher appreciation this year was weak as shit. Where's our parade? We need a parade!
Teachers always get the shitty end of the deal. And for so long, they're just like, well, that's how it is. I guess we're just going to keep on teaching because we love the kids. No, teachers need to fucking riot. No one else is going to do your job like you do. These parents have clearly proven they cannot do your job like you do. Get your ass in the street and riot until you are paid well. Damn it.
You know, I'm going to counter that with I would sure as shit do that if I didn't think that my ass would be secure in expressing my freedom of speech. I honestly kind of have this, what's the word I'm looking for? I have this kind of philosophy thinking where it's guaranteed that I have a freedom of speech, but that does not keep me from freedom of consequence from a school district who says, we didn't like the way that you said that. We don't like your representation, and we don't think you should be saying that in front of a public audience and then coming back on campus where your students know who you are and they know your political views. And here's the deal. I don't share a lot of my personal beliefs or views inside the class because that's not my job. It's not my place. And in which case, you know, we don't talk about X, Y, and Z for those reasons. And if you want to talk about X, Y, and Z in my class about that, conversations down, go talk about it in the hall. But if I go out there and express my extreme disgust for a group of people in a state capital who think that they know how to do my job better than I do, and they won't even bother to step in the fucking classroom and try it themselves, you bet your ass I would like to be down at the Capitol banging on their door.
I'm not usually an optimistic person. I'm usually a very cynical person. But in this one instance, I'd like to be a bit more optimistic. I agree that senators and shit, they don't give a shit about teachers. But the fact that you said that teachers getting paid more is a partisan political issue really is sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be a partisan issue. It shouldn't be about politics. Like, it should be a pretty well-known thing that they should be paid more regardless of your political party.
I was just going to say I completely agree about if we're going to be paid less, we should be working fewer hours. And if they want us to work more days, then we should be compensated accordingly, because it goes back to that what you permit is what you promote thing. If we start giving in on, oh, well, we'll take this pay cut, but we're still going to do, the same amount of work, then they have no reason to give that back to us once we get back to the classroom, because we've already shown that we're willing to do the work for that amount of money.
There was a great post and Teacher Needs a Drink podcast on the Facebook and Instagram page about 2 weeks ago that said, if your occupation needs an appreciation day, you're not getting paid enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that really stuck with me. You are forced to give up one of your 5 senses, smell, sight, taste, touch, or hearing. However, you may choose to compensate for the loss by means of synesthesia. For example, if you decide to give up your sense of sight, you can choose to smell colors instead. Or if you give up hearing, you might opt to taste music. If you give up taste, you could replace this sensation by feeling flowers. Basically, whatever sense you reject would be reflected through an alternative medium. Which of your senses would you surrender, and how would you replace it? Dun, 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 dun,
I would give up sense of smell, but I would want to be able to hear it.
Like, it telling you that
smells?
It's terrible. Like, I smell bad.
No, but like when your ears ring and you hear that kind of high-pitched sound, maybe it could be something like that, where lower frequencies are good smells and higher frequencies are danger smells.
Smell and taste are so connected that you can't give up one and keep the other.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to give up your smell, you're not going to be able to taste. Everything will taste like nothing. And I love food too much for that.
That's true.
I think I would give up my sense of taste. One, because I've already had that experience before when I was in high school and I got a really bad double ear infection and I couldn't taste for 6 weeks. And so it wasn't that, it was bad. Like, don't get me wrong. It sucks not being able to taste, but I would actually love to be able to taste music. Like,
that would be kind of cool.
Don't you think that'd be kind of cool? Like what does a Beatles song taste like? Or like, what does Fleetwood Mac taste like? Oh my God, what does Adele's music taste like,
Cigarette smoke and sadness.
Oh.
Croutons? She tastes like croutons.
No, her voice is too beautiful to taste like cigarettes, smoke, and sadness.
I'm going to go back and say I'm going to take away my sense of touch.
No. Sex.
No. Sense of touch. Okay, hold on. I would love to be able to like hear sex. You know what I'm saying?
You can.
I can.
No. But I mean, like, if you take away my sense of touch, there's so many more like dangerous and wild things I could do because then I couldn't feel pain.
I would definitely give up my sense of smell just so I could see how the food tastes before I taste it.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Good going, Turd. Good answer.
I try
They taste real good.
sometimes.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to give a special thank you to Mr. Snifter for his wonderful letter into our contact page. And also big thanks to Mr. Turd Ferguson.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Also, thank you, Rosie Rose. We're glad you're back this week.
I am too. I missed your stupid faces and voices because I can't actually see you.
Social distance.
And Miss Sparkles, it was wonderful having you from out of the States.
Yep. I love being out of the States. And I love you, dear listeners.
Okay. And also thank you to Miss Bunny O'Hare.
A pleasure as always.
I'm doing my
All right,
best,
guys.
Elvis, okay? I'm doing my best.
We all are trying. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
All right, thanks for joining us for episode 35 of Teacher Needs Drink Podcast. Teacher Needs Drink Podcast comes out every Wednesday and is sponsored by Ludlam Dramatics. Also, please, if you can, join us at Patreon, where for a $5 subscription, you can hear some bonus episodes that are only available through Patreon, as well as old classic and lost episodes. You also have access to free Teacher Needs Drink swag, like bottle openers and koozies. Please share your stories with us through Instagram or Facebook. Just got to tag us, or you can go to our website, teacherneedsdrinkpodcast.com. I'd like to give a very special thank you to Miss Rosie Rose, Miss Sparkles, Turd Ferguson, and of course Bunny O'Hare, and the beautiful Priscilla who's by my side. Anyway, everybody, go to Patreon, Ludlam Dramatics. Tell a person I am so fucking fried. Man, school year's over. Cheers, everybody. Thanks. Rosie.
Sorry, I liked commenting on the end of your "We need a parade."
Sorry, drugs, man.
Hey.
Drugs are a hell of a drug.
Oh, God. Because I'm so smart.